everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Titli and you're watching TITLIBEE. I'm making videos after a long time. It's about 2.5 weeks I guess, and the reason being I have been very unproductive and not feeling very well to make any videos, but that doesn't mean I have not been reading, and certainly I have read this huge book. Yes, remember, as I said, I will be making a video on this particular book. Now initially, even though I started to make this as a vlog, I realized it's not gonna happen, because very soon I realized that this book is not gonna be something that I will be able to finish in a short period of time. And I think the vlog was like, I shot it for like first 4 days, and after that I was like, not gonna happen, because in just 4 days I was about 150 pages, and this is an 800-page book. So you understand why I thought not to make a vlog. So even though I promised a vlog on this, I tried making, but I actually took about 15 to 16 days to finish this book, and that would have been a long vlog. But don't worry, today I'm going to do a full discussion on this book on my channel. Now, I haven't done any book discussion on this channel, mostly because I just recommend book and review them, but this time I think it is better to discuss about this book, because this is a book that cannot be summed up or just wind up in a small review. It requires discussion. Like, I have also page marked some of them, and some are also written notes in my mobile, so I hope you understand why I am going to do a book discussion. So get ready, this is going to be a long video, and just get your coffee cups and your snuggliest blankets and cushions, and let's get started. The Priory of the Orange Tree actually does not have one single protagonist, but 4 different protagonists from which POV we start the story. The story begins with Tani, who was actually smuggling in somebody into their land. And why smuggling somebody? Because due to a disease, a very deadly pandemic sort of disease, no one was allowed to come from outside. So in that island of Orishima, everyone who stayed there just stayed there, and anyone who comes from outside were suspected to be the carrier of the red disease, as they call it, and are not really very much welcomed, or even they come, they are sometimes gets killed by the army of their, not the army, the soldiers of that place, or sometimes even kept under observation to see if they are really the carrier of that such disease. So in this whole situation, Tani, our protagonist, smuggles in a man. Why she smuggles in? Well, we don't really get to know that in the beginning, and I'm not going to spoil it for any of you. You go and read this to know. Now she smuggles this person along with one of her friend, and kept this person to one person's house, who is our another protagonist, and that is Dr. Roos. Dr. Roos is an anatomist who is exiled from his own place, and that is Innis. Innis is the other place that is in the west, which is also one of the very important place and story building. I will come to that later, but before, let me tell you. Now, Roos is an anatomist, but not only he is an anatomist, he is also an alchemist, and this alchemist part of him is the reason he is exiled from his homeland. Now, he tried to make an elixir of life to give the queen of Innis eternal life, but he failed, and because he failed, the queen was furious and exiled him into this kind of barren part of Orishima, from where no one actually gets to go into the middle part of it, and neither are allowed back home. So he is in a very tight situation, and all of a sudden, in a night, in the very rainy night, a stranger man comes to his house for shelter, and that man was delivered by a woman who he doesn't know. So these mysterious things keep happening in the east. Now going to the west. Now from here we get our two more protagonists. First is Yadurian. Now Yadurian is lady in waiting to Queen of Innis, and that is Queen Sabran. Now she is, even though a lady in waiting for Queen, she also has a hidden identity, which from the very beginning is very obvious, and authoress doesn't tries to hide it or anything. So even if I'm saying this, it's not a spoiler, so don't blame me. Now she, even though is somebody in the court working as a very dignified woman, but she is from somewhere else. Now where she is from we get to know very later part in the story. I won't be spilling it now, so you have your spoiler free zone over here. And she is somebody, from the beginning of the story we come to know, she is very good in combat. She also possesses some magic. What kind of magic, we will come to that very later. And she is protecting Queen Sabran. Why and under whose command, that is to be told later on. Now coming to the fourth character, and that is Lord Ataloth. Now Lord Ataloth is somebody who was the best friend of Queen of Innis, Sabran, but sent away in a very diplomatic mission. But the mission isn't what it seems. He was actually sent away for some reason in the court. And again, I am not going to tell that because that would be a spoiler. Now coming to the whole stories. The stories not only just have these four protagonists, but one more protagonist, which we can also tell the main protagonist or the main attraction of the story, and the proper antagonist. And who are they? Both are dragons. So the protagonists which I'm telling about are the dragons from the east. These dragons are the dragons people just worship as gods. They are seen as something very much heavenly. They are cosmic bodies or something. They are very much respected and worshipped in the east. But there is also another group of dragons who are absolutely villainous. They have a very big draconic army with their leader named as the Nameless One. So he doesn't actually have the name, but he has his right hand Fredel, who is also a very ruthless dragon who comes in and kills people. These four characters come together when their ancient enemy, the Nameless One, is rising. It is believed that because of the Queen of Innis' dynasty, the Nameless One is still in his sleep. The very day Queen of Innis will have no heir, the Nameless One will rise. Now this was the very brief summary of the story. Now coming to my review. Now I am going to do a review as well as discussion, so there will be spoilers. So I am just telling you now, if you don't want to get spoiled, go away. But if you are alright with spoilers, then welcome, stay with me, we will talk about this book. Now the book actually is very thick, but the best part of the book is this is a standalone. So whatever the story begins, ends in this very book. So even though it's a thick one, you actually get the whole story. Now coming to this is, let me see if I can handle this book very well. This has I will put the picture anyway. It has 3 pages of maps, so it is very much easier to just flip back and see what's happening in what place, because the story is built in a huge world. Like, it has so many people, so many kingdoms. Not just so many kingdoms, mainly 2 kingdoms, but there are so many different places we talk about. There are many forests, there are many secret places and deserts and forests and whatnot. So it is always better to have that map handy, and because when I was reading, sometime I would get actually confused, so I would just flip back and see the maps. So which is good about this book. And I think I haven't seen many books doing this, and that is about 20 pages of glossary and timeline. So in case you have any query about anything in this book, just flip back and see the glossary and the the glossary and the character cards, not character cards, the character pages. So you would get a very clear picture of it. Now the story from the very beginning is quite intriguing. It was hard for me to put it down because so many things was happening. Like there are some stories that begin slowly and builds up, but this one, like from the very beginning, bam, it just goes with the action from the very beginning. Everything is from the very beginning, so you are already inside a action jammed book. So it's not very something like you take 100 pages, 200 pages to get the pace. Yes, it is going to take you a little bit time to just get a hold of the whole world in this book because there are so many places, so many characters. So you will take that bit to understand the characters and their thinking, their POV and everything. But the events are very interesting from the beginning that I really like. Otherwise, it would have been very hard to get into the story because there are so many characters, and if it were boring, I tell you, I wouldn't have been able to just finish this book. Coming to the characters, now we get to know Tani is somebody who is training to be a dragon rider. As I said, in the East, dragons are considered to be the gods, and Tani, she has been training to be a warrior, a soldier who would be a dragon rider if she passes all the tests. So this book has trials. I mean, trials are amazing. Who doesn't like trials and challenges in a storybook? And this book has that too. So you get trials, you get dragons, you get magic in this book. I don't know. It is like a whole platter for the fantasy readers. Like it's so beautiful. Now coming to Yadurian. Yadurian, as I said, authoress doesn't try to hide her identity or something. She is sent there by the Priory of the orange tree on which the book is actually based on. So she is sent there very secretly. She is there in the disguise of lady in waiting, but she is actually there to save Queen Sabran from assassins and every other draconic creatures because she possesses the power or the fire which can be used to kill the draconic army. She is someone who has been there training in the Priory, which was essentially the tree which gives you a fruit which also is made up from the fire the nameless one born from. So if you take that fruit, you eat it, you just happen to conjure that fire which is essentially gonna make you a dragon slayer. So Yadurian is there for protecting Queen Sabran. Now Queen Sabran, unlike the other queens, she wasn't getting married or getting an heir, even though she has come of her age and everyone was trying to convince her to get married. There are many princes and kings asking for her hand and she is not getting married. Why? That is something I will come later when I talk about her character. Now Yadurian is somebody who is great at fighting, so she is also kind of like a very super secret ninja assassin kind of person and with magic. So she is secretly killing the assassins who are coming to kill Queen Sabran. She is not only just killing the assassins, she is serving the court. She is just somebody who says everything straightforward to the queen, doesn't care for her BS. So that is an interesting character, and later on we get to see about the dynamic between Queen Sabran and Yadurian, which I really liked. Now coming to our third character, Roos. Now Roos is a very wicked character. I did not like him despite of his redemption we get in the ending of the book. You know, he is a character, main character, one of them, so he was supposed to be redeemed, but I think he was a very wicked character, but he was very interesting as well. He was somebody who was determined to make an elixir. He wanted to go back home, and he was very angry at Queen Sabran just for sending him away because he failed to make an elixir. And from that he tries his best to get the elixir. Now he is in Orishima, as I said, which is in the east, but mostly the outskirts of the park, so he is not somebody who is allowed to get inside and mingle with them. So he lives in the outskirts. He gets this formula where to make the elixir he requires dragon scales, and now he is living in a place where dragons are being worshipped as god. Is a little difficult, so he gets his hand into some dirt, through which he actually tries his best to blackmail somebody to get the dragon scale. So I'm not going to tell you anymore, because even though I'm spoiling you all, I'm not going to give away everything, or else there won't be any fun for you guys to read the book. And now coming to Arteloth. Arteloth is somebody who is a knight in the court of Kings, but he was sent away because people assume there is some relation between Queen Sabran and him, even though they were like best friends. And because of their friendships and rumors, it was getting harder for Queen of Ines to get married. So somebody sends him away on a very fraud kind of mission, like a very fake mission, to just keep him away from the Ines. And the mission he was sent to could essentially kill him. So the person who sent him was very much determined to get rid of him altogether, not just for his petty reason to get Queen Sabran married. Now, out of this four characters, I would say Arteloth's character was the most boring to me, and I loved Iyadurian. As I said, I really liked Tane as well, and as I said, I did not like Roots, because Roots is a very grey character. If you read, some people will obviously gonna like him, some people gonna dislike him. So it's like a very grey character. It's almost like Snape. So he's doing good, he's doing bad, what he's doing, it's up to the reader's interpretation, I would say. Now another two characters that I really liked are Queen Sabran and Margaret. Margaret is the sister of Lord Arteloth, who is also Lady in Waiting with Iyadurian. So they are like best friends all together. So it's a very good character, and she is so smart, she is so fierce character. I really liked her. She just goes with everything that is happening. She doesn't care for who is doing what. She just knows what to do, what is right, and she just goes for it. And comes Queen Sabran. Now from the beginning it seems like Queen Sabran is somebody very uptight, somebody who is very ruthless as a queen. But as the story unfolds, the different layers of Queen Sabran also starts unfolding, and that is when I started loving her. She is a very sweet and very meek character who was just having a demeanor of being a very powerful queen and a very ruthless queen, because she has a huge queendom waiting on her. So she has a lots of responsibility, and she was working for that. Now, what is the main difference between the bad dragons and the good dragons? Well, now the good dragons are said to be made from the comet. So they are something that came from outside and began, and the bad dragons that came from inside of the earth, and that is from the lava or the fire inside the earth. So they are like both opposite forces, one coming from inside and another descending from the sky. So that is the main difference of their origin. And then comes to their characteristic. The bad dragons spreads plague, kills people, wants power, and the good dragons are like, yes, we are your buddy, we are saving you, we can talk, we have powers. So this is the main difference between the good dragons and the bad dragons. And one dragon in particular we actually get to know about, that is Nyamithun. Nyamithun, if I'm pronouncing it wrong, then I'm sorry. Nyamithun is a character, a dragon who is a very, what should I say, very serene, very wise kind of dragon. So I really like this character. And coming to the book, we get to see a few more characters who are not essentially the main part of the story, but they contributed to a lot, like this huge group of pirates, and then Kalyaba, as well as the prioress of the Priory of the Tree, as well as the king from the east. So these are the characters who also plays a very important role in the story. They are the reason the story goes on. So yeah, this is a very, and this is a huge character. There is so many characters, so huge world. So it might take a time to understand everything and process everything, but I think about after 100 and 150 pages it's get easier. Now reading this thick book, was it worth it? It took me 15 days and I would say it was worth it. I really love this story. Now if you're somebody who is into fantasy, who loves everything that I just mentioned, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it because the story is well built, every character is believable, and that is very important part when you are reading a fantasy. You don't want to read it and feel like this is fake, this is not something that can happen. The main part of fantasy is to make believe of these fantasy places and fantasy lands, and the authoress has done that so well. From every character, like they have come to life when you read them. It was amazing story, and because this is a standalone, so yes, I'm quite sad that this is a standalone. I would love to have more of this. If there's any complaint about this book, I would say the ending. I would have expected a little bit more fight, a little bit more action with the draconic army and the dragon, but it was somewhat like the fight with the Night King. So you get me, right? So essentially the work is done, but even it's like winter is coming, and white the and the Night King came and he was stabbed to death, and it was almost like that. We have been waiting for the nameless one from the very beginning. There is fight like everything, and then he just gets killed. So I was expecting the nameless one to be much more powerful than then, and like burning everything down and so. But I think that wasn't really matters, because throughout the book we get so much action, we get so much input in this. So I think I really enjoyed the book. I would also ask you to go and read this, because I think even before, more than the ending of the book, what really mattered was the whole story coming together. It was so beautifully written. I really loved this one, and yes, and that was my review. How much would I give out of 5? I would give 3.5 out of 5. So that was my review rating on this book. If you have stick till this part of the video, congratulations, you made it. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. I make related videos, and I will come with more reviews and more book recommendations very soon. And I'm really sorry for not being able to come for the last 2.5 weeks, but now I'm here. I will be making more and more videos. I hope you all are doing good, and stay healthy, stay safe, keep reading. Till then, bye bye.